Alright, finally. Floor 50, Battlefield of Trials, cleared. We got 5 of these. Let's check, oh, it's already reset time. Let's check the gears and let's check the artifacts. Okay, so here's my full Jinwoo setup. My stats are here. The attack is 26k. Crit rate is at 50%, but it's heavy penalty, so I don't think it's gonna help much. We actually just relied on the passive crit rates there. Crit damage is 167%. Death penetration, damage increase. There you go. The stats allocation are still at pure strength. So again, whenever we're trying to clear heavy penalty dungeons, if we're on the red, I highly recommend that you just go on full attack. The gameplay we did there is kind of the usual gameplay style that I've been doing since Vulcan as well as in the Power of Destruction. The usual style that they do there is to use Westwind. So I think that's okay too. My total power is gonna be very low if I use Westwind. So I feel like Moonshadow is really the one that's more fitting in my case for my character progress. And by the way, before we proceed, just want to give a shout out to Arthur. He's actually the one that kind of encouraged me to do this floor 50. I have like zero plans on really doing this, but he asked me, and I actually told him that I haven't finished 40 yet because I don't have destroyers yet, and he gave me some tips to be able to clear Battlefield of Trial floor 40 on Song Jinwoo. Thanks again, Arthur, for the tips. I was able to finish the Battlefield of Trial floor 40. Actually didn't know that you can finish that without destroyers yet. Okay, moving on. Before we proceed here, I just want to show you my artifacts. I was using Curse 8-piece curse set because that's a short fight and we kind of need the stats in those kinds of situations. So this is what I used. Still far from being perfect, but yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. And for the blessing stones, I used double-edged sword again for attack. Scaling is good because we don't have expert set there, so we're really gonna feel the difference when it comes to damage. And we also use this one for cooldowns, of course. We have lots of really long cooldown skills, especially the armor break decimation. And we have sharp perception. Again, guys, when fighting penalty maps, when fighting under red TP, one of your priorities is to get the passive critical hit rates, not the artifact crit rate. The crit rate from the artifact is gonna be penalized, so most of the crits are gonna come from the passives only, okay? And then we also use the swiftness necessary to actually use this because of the playstyle. I had to do a lot of amplifying draw because I'm not using Westwind, so the damage is gonna be much less. These two weapons are kinda on the utility or support weapon side, okay? So what I did was to use the amplifying draw on all of these, pretty much, just to add some damage on Moonshadow, on Plum Sword, but most importantly on the armor break decimation. So this was the main damage dealer and also the buffer. Whenever we're gonna throw our ult, we're gonna get that increase critical hit damage by 50%, and of course the crushing blow ascension so that we can charge our power gauge faster and then lessen the cooldown of the ultimate. So it's really the style that I really love doing and don't have choice anyway, because if I use Westwind here, I'm even gonna suffer a lot. My total power is gonna suffer a lot. So I think this is really the best choice in my case. You can actually do this as well. Now, just take note that this is a Moonshadow A3, so my Shadow Steps will also have that 3 stacks debuff. So for my hunters, I actually did a lot of unplanned upgrades here just to be able to finish that, because my total power was actually not enough. It's somewhere around 510k-ish only. So I had to do some upgrades on another curse set. This is my secondary curse set. As you can see, this one's not even upgraded yet. So my Cha is here, 161k total power, but the key thing here with Cha-Hei-In is that she has a debuff that further increases the critical hit rate, so that kinda helps us as well, even though the artifacts are gonna be penalized. And for our mail-in feature, I just use a full blessing set, and again, this is your fault, Arthur. So I had to spend some resources to get my final blessing set. But they're pretty decent anyway, so I think that's fine. HP is on around 43k. So Malin Fisher gave us attack percentage from the support skill as well as a really good sustain. Really love that instant heal. So I think nothing special here on Malin Fisher. And for Min, I had to do some unplanned upgrades again on my Min to add some skill levels, especially here to kind of get more total power. And he's also now at A3. I just borrowed the grid set of Saw to be able to get that total power as well as the weapon of Alicia. And the key thing here, guys, hard content, penalty, you need the crit rate passives. And Min has that. Crit rate 12%. And we also have that punishment, of course. Increased damage taken by 15%. So let me just give you some tips if you're trying to finish this. I actually had problems initially because my TP was around 510k or 500k. I forgot prior to doing the upgrades. And the damage was really not enough. So the only thing that I changed, and I feel like what did the trick for me was being able to reach around 70%. I felt like there are some levels to the penalty, and I had the feeling that the 70% total power here actually gave me a huge spike because I really felt the difference in terms of damage. It's not really the skill issues, it's not really the setup because I was using the same setup before. There might be some levels there. I haven't tested it, so I'm not sure and I don't want to figure it out anymore. It's just that just maybe. So maybe if you're gonna try this soon, maybe you can do the trial and error. So again, I'm not sure about that. I just have a feeling that it works that way. Okay, there are certain levels like 70%, 75%, 80%, and 85%. Of course, once you reach 85%, you're gonna be at the white TP already. So overall, it's a pretty good experience. Like seriously, this one's probably one of the most difficult bosses to fight. And if I didn't have this, I think this one's really crucial here. Again, more dashes means more amplifying draws. So even if you didn't get the damage output from this, that would mean you're gonna have more amplifying draw to secure your crit rate, because that's what's important when you're under heavy penalty. The amplifying draws 32% critical chance. Okay, so I think that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next one.